It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship, Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world, in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago. I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race, above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable to communicate our intentions. As soon as we discovered them, we fully expected negotiations would be necessary. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. The Constant, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason. Now that we know what's out there, things are going to...
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and... We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them. I wish I could say that the satisfaction of helping others in need is sufficient, but I'm not getting that impression from you. I'm sure we can pull together some resources equivalent to whatever currency you use these days. We'll do what we can to make it worthwhile. And until then, you're free to make use of whatever facilities you need on our ship. Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate as... Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial. But initially, I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. Thank you, and Godspeed.
Just because our equipment's old, doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers. Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
No matter what the future holds, I think I'll always be more comfortable in space.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it is. We've got strict rules around here. They're strict for a reason.
tell you how many times I've had to make do with elegant solutions.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships. The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Right, let's get this crate into space.
I'll get to it, Dad. I promise.
This ain't my getting around to it, Tom.
free and clear for flight.
Hello there.
I'm here to help if you need it.
I guess I have to admit.
I'm here to satisfy...
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the exec... You can imagine, dealing with a team of execs, trying to... But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in. So, it's not all bad. What I could tell you would get me in a... Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
No major incidents in a while.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are
Nor
millions
lucky I'm not
of
like the
planets
other
out
board
there.
members.
People can
lazing
go to
about
any
the
one of
beaches
them.
without a care in the
Resort
universe.
facilities are precisely what we bring to the table.
We, the Paradiso Group, bought the rights to this planet years ago with the intent of turning it into the biggest and best resort in the universe. To that end, as such, no other leisure enterprises may operate on the planet without renting land from us. But as you can see... No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time lazing on the beach or gallivanting off. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine. Not quite. We just don't answer to the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies. Makes things easier. We don't pay any taxes. We don't need to follow their laws. And no one minds, because half the politicians and other big shots... I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm gonna cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there, causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners round the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch. Despicable? Hardly. Just a backup plan in case we can't get them to leave. But you're right, no one's gonna buy aliens. Remind me to fire the marketing team. So, tell me, what's the actual deal with this massive eyesore? Bonza! That means we got them right where we want them. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance. And that's within your right. But as the CEO of Paradiso Group, I'm the... So, as much as I appreciate your feedback, it's not in the best interest of the Paradiso Group to take it into account. We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see. And we'd rather not draw attention to it. As I've mentioned, it could be bad. Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff. It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of a custom grav drive. Can't come cheap, and I assume that leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? Right. Assuming they agree to the terms, I've got a list of resources you'll need to gather and bring back, so we'll need to improve our lodging and infrastructure, plus account for future projects to support an increased population. Don't care how you procure them, just make sure to bring them here with you before we can consider this a done deal.
Oh, how can we treat these people this way? They survived in space this long, only to end up as indentured servants. Oh, it's terrible.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we
With a name like
the only thing
Paradiso,
we've really
the
got to
marketing
offer.
for this place writes itself. Ah, I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial machine.
You'd think we'd be a prime target for pirates.
Lift off when you are, Captain.
We have liftoff. Orbital insertion completed.
Port is clear. We're docked.
Things for you. Let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away. Yes, have a look. I feel like I'm a better person because of your... If it keeps us close.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see.
Hydroponics, of course. This must be how the colony ship kept itself fed over all these years in space.
There's so much more to learn.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
Perhaps I can sort it.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean...
And to think, all this time we thought we were alone.
Just stay out of trouble.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship. Now that we know what's out there, it's more interesting. Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. What's the good word? Then I'd need to know what that catch is before I could form an opinion. That doesn't sound so bad. My crew will need to get used to working for a living anyway. This seems agreeable. Is that all? I'm not sure what we can spare. And I'm telling you that I'm not sure we can spare anything at this point. We won't, will we? At least not all of it. I wonder what we could easily access for this transaction. Unfortunately, we just don't have any resources to spare. As you can imagine, our ancestors were not able to bring many excess supplies. Sorry, we can't spare more now. If we can find some other way of repaying you, we will. Thank you. I think I'm coming up on... Because of that, I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But... Safe travels to you.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I've never seen any ships.
Good to be back on board.
Any day you make it through is a victory in my book.
Why did I think 3 days was going to be enough?
Can't wait for my shift to be over so I can relax like a guest.
We try to stay out of our guests' way. We're always here if needed.
I'm here to help if you need it.
Not to be a downer, but this place is almost too perfect.
Need something? We've got stuff. If you need...
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay. Thanks for shopping.
I guess I have to admit, this resort isn't as bad as I thought.
Ah, come here for a little R&R, huh? Me too.
I shouldn't be telling you this, but don't get another nice day in Paradiso. They're all nice days, I guess.
What a view out here, huh? Sorry, did you need something? I'm trying to enjoy my vacation. This should be interesting. Well, I can appreciate that. I'm glad to hear you like my other creations. Well, except for Frazzleberry Crush. No one liked that one. It's probably not that big of a deal, to be honest. I mean, what are you going to do? Open up a shop and compete with just one lousy recipe? Then I'm sure you could find something you like at the local Tranquility. I can't let you have this. No, I'm terribly sorry. As much as I'd love to share this recipe with another team, with luck, it shan't be too long before... You again? I thought I'd... That seems fair enough, I suppose. I can make a quick payout and... Very well.
Why would you spend your own money to help someone else steal a company recipe? It appears that Kumar has you doing all of his dirty work.
This is probably the best vacation I've ever taken.
There are so many activities I'm looking forward to doing. Just
I don't think any place could be more perfect.
You're back? Ooh, does that mean you've succeeded? Amazing! I can't be... Oh, I hear you. I already made you. I see what you're saying. I tried to be. Okay, fine. It'll be worth it once I get promoted. I'll give you more than what I was originally planning. Now, let's see what's in that recipe. Wait, the secret ingredient is... coffee? Really? And I have higher quality coffee ingredients.
if I could just stay here forever, I would.
Ah, got sand in my shoes again. Oh.
There's a huge difference between being prepared and the two of us make quite the pair, eh? Glad to haul whatever you need. Oh, I can tell I'm going to like this. I can't believe how perfectly we were made for each other. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll talk again later.
The galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
Hey, how are you?
Achieving orbit now.
Hey, what can I do for you?
enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
If it belongs on your ship, then I'm sure we have it for sale. Hope you're finding everything you need. Oh, please, take a look. Thanks for coming in.
If you're in the market for artwork, I'm sure
like you need something, yeah?
less caffeine, more herbs.
Another day, another shift.
Just one quiet day. Not too much to ask.
Even in the
Welcome to the Trade Authority. If you're here on
continues to
legitimate
flourish.
business, I would be more. If, however, you are here under false pretense, say, sent by one Miss Tsang, then I'm afraid you'll find nothing illegitimate here. So, what'll it be? Perhaps, but I'm quite confident in my business. Please, let me know if I can assist you further. Ah, yes, I've been expecting you. Here's your package. And don't worry, I've already corrected the ownership record for you. Good. I'm glad we understand. Thanks for your business. Of course, of course. thought the name made it rather. Whether it's bulk cargo, we have shipping lanes across. That depends. If you have a ship and are willing to haul cargo, then we frequently post cargo running jobs up on the mission. Check them out. I've heard our jobs pay well, and the Trade Authority appreciates your visit.
Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space or got separated from their home planet or what, but they scavenge what they need. Lots of old facilities left over from the colony war, and they like to pick them clean. People joke, say those Varun zealots worship a snake. But let me tell you, it ain't a snake.
It's amazing. Selling art is a bit of an...
Shh! Are you crazy? Keep your damn voice down.
Buy low, sell high. I'm sure there's a wealthy banker in New Atlantis that will agree.
Oh, get off your high horse. I didn't trick you. What do you have to complain about?
It's all part of the game, my friend. But I digress. Thank you for your discretion. Now that I'll... That's of no concern to you. I told you at the end of our business that we will not speak about it. Do not mention my work again. Other than being an art dealer, I did a few odd jobs, Goodbye.
Accounted for. We are ready to depart.
Say your last goodbyes.